What is up, my dudes? I've got a replay of a trophy run I did the other night. Video quality is a little bit better, although I recorded this one on my laptop, and I got the video on my desktop a lot better. It is definitely better than it was for the last video. But anyway, let's just go right into it. I've got a pretty good pool here. 2 Gigastorm Titans, 3 Self-Craft Mechans, 2 Siege Ship Agrarians, Tezzeret, which I end up cutting, Ulthros, Sound Assist, Navigator, Burst, 2 Impacts. I've got the gear in the start because I want to get Tezzeret something to minus, but I've got a Cryo Shatter and a Gale Blade. Keep going. I think I end up changing this up pretty well as it goes. We'll see. Got good ambient MTGA music going on in the background. And let me skip ahead to when we actually start. I do lose the roll here. Keepable first hand. I've got a turn 2 play, a turn 3 play, and a turn 4 play. Opponent plays an island. I also play an island, not to be outdone. I'm being good and clicking. They've got the operative. It's when you cast a second spell, it gets a +1/+1 counter to 2/1 for 2. I just slapped down a surveil 2. Warping in my whale. I'm like, I only have 4 mana, but man, those are pretty hot. 2 really hot spells. Top, as they were. Love the order that my cards were in. It always seems like your opponent is like, oh, surveil? That's exactly what I want. And then my opponent puts out the Scion Assist of their own. I wonder what my next card's going to be. Hey, it's a Mecha Navigator. It's so crazy. I'm thinking. Do I want to play a 3-drop? No, I'm just going to slap a 2 down because I want to draw cards. But then I would have to attack with that creature, and it would just die. So is that really what I want to do? But I think I just want the card draw for sure. I think I make some questionable choices here. I'm like, oh my god, why can't my taskbar go away? It's so annoying. I fix it because this is from 2 days ago. You can see the date down there. Like, go away. Didn't I just do this? Yes, I did. Okay, and it's back. And it's still there. Freaking out about taskbar. Hey, it goes away finally. I did it. And I bring that down. I've got a full play experience right here. This is a weird place to be in. So, slap down the Agrarian. I don't have another land at the moment. I'm like, I can always Siege Ship impact something and get a lander and then force a land in that way, I guess is what I was thinking. Opponent thinking about life. Tapping a mana. There we go. Cryo Shatter right on my guy. Very sad. Don't want him to die, so I'm just going to eat 4 damage. Go to 10. Do I draw the land? I do draw the land. So, stuff that can happen here. Could slap down a land, put a Thawbringer down, and then Siege Ship impact the Cryo Shatter. But I don't think about that. I just want, I say I want that land so bad. And those are the choices that I've made, and I live with them. I wonder if I win this game. I don't know that I do. I go for okay. So I want the Meccan. I'm like, oh, I'll sacrifice my guy card for 1/1 to then draw a card. So kind of like a 2/1, maybe. Not really. Probably not the best play. I probably could have put down the Thawbringer, siege shipped the cryo shatter, and then had 2 creatures on board. But here we are. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. Galeblade. My 4/5 is, it's Tractor Beam it. Very sad. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to turn the corner here because I go to 5. I think I see the use of the Siege Ship now. I'm like, oh, it says enchantments. That's crazy. Look. Reading the card. Oh, that's a super lucky top deck here. The Psionicist allows me to have a 2/4. Play my 4/2 with Surveil for 1. Yes, I see it. There we go. Which gives me a Surveil. And I'm like, I don't want another land. No, thank you. I have 6. And then I can block favorably and Siege Ship the Tractor Beam at the end and then have a 4/5. I am at 5 life, so it's a little rough out here in the high seas. Opponent slaps down a land, has 1 card left. Just goes in for 1 damage, takes me to 4. So they probably don't have any combat tricks or anything. Probably holding another land, not sure. But I will kill the Tractor Beam to get my boys back. But it is also 20 to 4, so I need to be pretty measured with my response. That's a great top deck. Good thing I surveilled that land away. Going on in my head. What if we go speed? A little faster. I don't know. How fast is faster? If you're experiencing not fast enough problems, you can always speed it up on the YouTube replay. So yeah, I don't go down for the whale because then I can't biosynthetic burst. I guess I could have surveilled with my other whale. 1, 2, and then still wouldn't have enough mana. So my opponent's playing some bad cards, but still 16 to 4. Making my blocker sad. So I think they're going to swing with everything here to try to get more than 1 damage in. They should, yeah. Okay, I was like, did they not attack with the operative? Because that'd be crazy. So I do the +1/+1 counter, reach, trample, indestructible, untap it. It has another +1/+1 counter. I go for the Psionicist and to kill the 1/1 flyer just to stop it. And then my -1/4 can block a 3/2. I get a card off the operative, but they run out of flyers. I get to surveil. I love surveilling. I think that is a wonderful top deck. Because then I can whale, followed by Thawbringer, to have a flyer and a 4/2, and my 5/6, and my 2/4. But he does have a separate operative, so his operatives are now 4/3s, but my 5/6 can block that all day. And they're going to get to give something -3, -0 again, which I don't think is very good. Go in with the 5/6, I believe. I may have turned the corner at this point. I'm trying to work like I am. I do cast correctly. I don't tap my green mana. I don't want another land. I do want a Gigastorm Titan. What a top. And then I surveil again, but obviously it's going to stay there. My 5/6, very strong. We got a 3/5 flyer. Those whales end up being really good. Early on in the set, I devalued them, but a 3/5 flyer is a serious body. we go. He goes to go make my whale at 05, which is still a wonderful blocker. If he's got a second spell, both of his operatives grow, but it's not. Here, I realize I can cast both the whale and the titan as long as my psionicist survives. So I think I just come in for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, threatening lethal. So make my opponent think. I probably could have gone with the psionicist. So like maybe I should have just dropped everything and then attack with the psionicist as well. But I am at 4. And they're gonna go 1 for 1 there, but I will kill their 4/3 instead. I get another surveil. We're out of patience for lands, but that is why the surveilling is good. And then whale. We don't want to warp it. Yeah, we want to cast it. We figured it out. 3, 4, 5. Some wonderful tapping there. We get another 2 surveil. We found our Tezzeret. And then we can Titan for 1. At which point my opponent is not in a good spot. Get another card. Still at 4. And they just concede. I don't even get to play my Tezzeret, so sad. I think to myself, that went well. Maybe I'll just submit again. And I do. So I'm on the draw again. I've got 2 blues with a bunch of 4 costs and no way to cast my 3-drop. So I say, you know what? Keep it. Looks good. Looks great. That I do get a whale off the top, so I will get to surveil 2 on turn 2. But yeah, not a great keep. Yep, that's another green that we don't have lands for. The surveil saves us. 2 forests on the top. Mwah. Magnifique. Exactly what I needed. They can stay exactly where they are. That's how surveilling works. You look at the cards, you're like, yeah, those are great. Those should stay there. My opponent, also on a monocolored streak there. But we get our happy little guy. My 4/2 can fight his 2/4 all day. We still want that forest. Sea Chip Impact at instant speed. Very good card. Very good card this set. Cryo Shatter early. Yeah, my opponent double Psionicist, so could be casting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drop for 1 blue, but does not. I've got my Seed Ship. I feel like I just go for it because I can then Titan and still attack. There's no need to first main drop the Titan, bro. You've already cast a spell. Why would you do that? No, just go for it. I just go for it like a big old dummy. Tag with everything. I dare you to block. I'd love to surveil, I said. And they do. Yeah, probably because I'm tapped out. So they can't just trade me 1 for 1. But I do get a surveil out of it. And I'm like, yeah, I like another Titan. I'm like, I only have 4 mana, but I like another Titan. And I can always self-craft Mechan, the lander token away, and hopefully draw a second card, which will be a land. They have plenty of Cryo Shatters. I'm at 18. Neither of their creatures have Summoning Sickness. Yeah, just take 3 here. Should just take 3 here. Yeah. Because who knows? I've got another second Seed Ship. So, obviously, Meccan for the lander. I don't know, it might have been better to just get the for sure land, but I think it pays off. Yeah, it does. But it's not the right color. Yeah, really thinking about sacrificing my Gigastorm Titan for no reason. They take the card draw. They've got the 2/4 that allows them to cast. I think they're missing, yes, definitely missing their other color that I remember they have for sure. I don't know that I saw any other color that comes to mind. Maybe it was a white mana at one point. So top or bottom, I have another one. I definitely want the bottom there. I said I definitely want the bottom there. Good. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, Chunky. Yeah, you thought you figured it out. You're so smart. If I played this on my laptop, which I did, I was probably watching TV at the same time, so it took a while to figure out. I'm at 15. I gotta stop this hemorrhaging. No, I don't block. Don't worry, there's another self-craft mechan on the top. So I'm just gonna go for the whale that surveils. The whale that surveils. Just like last time, exactly what you want. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and they're good. So you say these can stay there. Which are lands 6 and 7, which I need for the Mouth of the Storm. Cryo Shatter number 3 comes down. I say sure. I'll just not go to 11. I guess I just cast, and I don't sacrifice itself to get the card because I know it's another land, and I couldn't put it on the Titan, but I do get to cast another Titan, which is cool. Gigastorm Titans. They've got their white mana. They will then Radiant Strike my Self-Craft Mechan, going to 23 while I'm at 13. And I've got 2 Titans. One is Cryo Shattered. The other is real. They Tractor Beam it. They've got all the answers. We have to find a real blocker at some point. I say I'm going to stop this hemorrhaging. There's our 7th land, and we'll slap down our 7 mana 6/6. Great finisher. Great stall. They can't attack me with anything. I've only got 2 cards in hand. I'm on a 7 turn clock for them, and they are on a 6 times 4 is 24, 4 turn clock for me, so I'm faster at the moment. Although it looks like maybe they have another creature. But I will have a blocker from the Mechan. They try to give my guy -3, -0. I've got ward, and it's taking me a moment to figure out that I'm not stacking abilities already, so I have to click the Mouth of the Storm ward to put it on the stack, because I think I slapped a key by accident. Or maybe I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm like, all right, whatever. But then they don't pay the 2 for the ward, so maybe I'm thinking maybe they have a counterspell. So I think about life for a second. I'm like, I could drop down Tezzeret, right? 1, 2, 3. I could drop Tezzeret. I do. And then I could -3 to get an artifact. I'm really thinking about that. But I think I'm going to hold off for a second. Because whenever an artifact lands, hey, he gets a little point. The Self-Craft Mechan is, in fact, an artifact. So he gets a point. I'm still not going to sacrifice itself because I need the blockers. So I've cast 2 3/4s for 4. But it does allow me to plus. Well, I don't plus him, but I plus 0. The Tezzeret. Yeah, I do attack. I've done the math. I've got a 4/5 blocker, so he's losing a guy if he attacks, and my Tezzeret would still only go to 3, which would allow me to search still. And I do have that 1-drop artifact, but my opponent just concedes to the superiority that is the Mouth of the Storm. Next match comes at 21 here. I lose the roll again. I have a 1-lander. Don't like it. Surely I don't like it. Surely I put that away. Okay, good job, good job. So I got a 2-lander with a gear, 2 Agrarians. I'd say, go away, whale. No one likes you. So, Model 6. Island right off the top, baby. No problem. I don't have a play until turn 3, though, so it's a problem. But my opponent going real slow. Getting all their lands from the command bridge. I slap down an island and gracefully pass. Look at that mouse work. Not pressing any keyboard buttons here to pass through your turn by accident and losing on MTGO like a ding-dong. Yielding to the next step, not through the whole turn, so that you are safe. Thawbringer to surveil. We've got our 4th land. I think we still want a 5th one here because the Agrarians love that land drop. I think the correct play is to Agrarian and then Agrarian, then land drop next turn. But my opponent's got a really great, yeah, they've got Titan with the unblockable card drawer and the drone making lizard. So I might be screwed. I don't want to attack because then I would just eat 4, 6, 7, 8. So I do the thing that is just make an Agrarian and pass through the turn and hope that I don't die. My opponent is happy to have all their colors. 5 lands. I also have 5 lands. Everything's cool. 4 cards in hand over there. 4 cards in hand over here. Looks like they're going to get a lot of value out of this. Oh boy. So yeah, they have the artifact enters. Get a +1/+1 counter. They don't get a second spell there, so that kind of makes me good. I cast the Agrarian. Very smart to have the 2 Agrarians and both get the +1/+1 counters. I can't, and then soon I realize, oh, I am stupid. I should have left open a forest, but then I'm like, oh, but if I left open a forest, I couldn't have cast the guy, and they couldn't have both gotten +1/+1 counters. So I think my way through it. I figure it out. I am a big dumb, but here I am. So I've got 16 power on the board. What I can do is Maelstrider's Gear into Mechan, get a +1/+1 counter, draw a card, but I also figure out pretty smartly that when you tap your Siege Ship Agrarians, you get a Lander token, which is also an artifact, which you can sacrifice to the Mechan. Which also makes my boys 6/6s. My opponent draws a bunch of cards, has a bunch of artifacts, flies at me for 2, taking me 16. It's a pretty deep hole with the amount of stuff they've got. Lands for days now, which actually isn't terrible for me. I think about it. I'm like, yeah, they could. Get the Lander token. So they could double block me and maybe trade 2 for 1. But I don't think they do. Yes, very good, very good. Smart chunk. 2, 3, 4. Leaving up both colors. Very smart, very smart. We sacrifice the Lander. We put the +1/+1 counter on itself to make it 4/5. Big blockers, big blockers. Another land. And then I guess I make a Maelstrider's Gear, because fuck it. And probably put it on the Thawbringer, because making a 6/3 reach, none of their guys can kill that toughness. Now he's large. I'm definitely having a finishing issue here. My opponent definitely has 6 cards in hand, so I think they're about to go off with the lizard that makes drones, and they're 4 colors that they just happened to slap down. Yeah, here comes the surge. So they get the lightsmith, they get the monitor, which triggers the exile. I don't see a way through this. Very sad. My opponent's thinking about their triggers. Puts another +1/+1 counter on the lightsmith. Gets another +1/+1 counter to distribute. Probably should put it on your flyers. That's just me. Yep. Nope. Puts it on the unblockable operative. Also good choice. Because it draws a card, putting them to 6 cards in hand, so they should be able to double spell all day, every day. We got the Titan. Very, very cool, very legal. 6. So if I attack with both these guys, right? I get 2 lander tokens. They become 8/8s. But that's only if I sack both those landers and spend all my mana. And then I realize they've got a 5/5 and a 4/4. So even if I do all the lander stuff, be sure to keep open 5 mana. Why am I going for more islands? There you go, bud. So I just get to kill the 5/5 because 5 and 4 is 9, and all I can do is 8. So if I had attacked with both of them the other time, the turn before, I'd be in a better spot to 2-for-1 them or for them to like chump. And then I make a Titan of my own. I have a lone Agrarian at the moment. Very sad. +1/+1 counters though. Opponent has 3, 6, 7, 8 lands, 5 cards in hand. Definitely going to be able to double spell. They also play the Terra Symbiosis, which I don't know, makes more +1/+1 counters happen whenever +1/+1 counters happen. So they just get to stack 2 +1/+1 counters every time, which sucks. I don't have any board wipes in this one, so they just get a 4/6 unblockable, draw you a card, which will grow and grow and grow and grow. And they can also give that said card +4/+0. So I think that I'm like doing the math here. That I'm on a 1-turn clock. And that they are never going to run out cards. 5, and you got 2 flyers too. He doesn't go with those. Doesn't want to deal 7 and put me on a 1-turn clock, but I still am on a 1-turn clock. I draw another land, maybe? Yeah, I draw another land and say GG. And I say GG. There we go. I make some drastic cuts here. Are you not? You're not going to concede, bud? Why not? You want to see if they just don't block? With non-threatened lethal? Yep, there we go. We figured it out. Alright, so I make some real drastic cuts here. The Fate Makers come in because I'm like, oh, I was having trouble with the chump blocks with this guy. So Tezzeret is not where it's at. I'm about to submit, and then I'm like, oh, I've got 40 cards. 41's fine, but why is the Meltstrider gear still inside? Why do you still have the Meltstrider gear, bud? You want to have weird draws? I guess he has a lot of flyers is what I'm thinking, but I think that is a definite cut. He's probably watching TV, as previously stated. I do get to be on the play, though, this time. Age of Eternities Set Mastery is on Magic Arena. Very exciting. I've got 2 lands. I like them. I get my other color. Everything's awesome. So I get to slap down a Psionicist and then start doing stuff. They show me a very different start this time. And then I can start to do cool things. But the Fate Makers are going to really give me what I need here to trample over and chip damage in and not be chump blocked. Which, while the Agrarians are good, they don't have trample. So, Drix Fate Maker solves that problem. Turn 4. Perfectly balanced? No. All forests. So, what do? We think about our life, and we warp a dude. And then we're like, oh, it's still my first main phase. I should just slap down all my cards. And then I attack for my 3/5 trample. It doesn't really matter because what red instant is there for 1 in this set? But still not good play behavior. So they still have 6 cards in hand. I've got a very good, strong position right here because the Siege Ship Agrarian gives itself +1/+1 counters. Casting the Thawbringer activates my Scion Assist to get -2, which I can then make another Drix Fate Maker cast. Which I do want to do first main because then I can get a +1/+1 counter. I say, I love that. That's a great thing. I cast my 4-drop 4/2 because of the Scion Assist. I put it on the Scion Assist. Not sure about that choice. I guess it allows it to attack without fear of death. I realized that they could just double buck my Agrarian. We don't want to do that because it can grow itself. Drix Fate Maker, it also has trample. And it can also give itself a lander token, which my Mechan can eat. A, to put a +1/+1 counter somewhere to give something else trample, and B, to draw a card. So, all around, pretty good board state for me. I do know that Cryo Shatter's on the top of my deck. From my Thawbringer Surveil. Island still has 5 cards in hand. Can probably double spell from here to activate the Lightsmith, make it a 4/4, and draw a card, and possibly even make the Pangolin a 3/3. So they're definitely not out of it. They've got 5 cards to my 2. I'm only able to draw another card beyond my usual draw, so like I've got what I've got, and I need it to get me there. They do not do the Pangolin, so they definitely needed the double spell. They draw a card and draw another card, so they go back to 5. They definitely have the card advantage on me, but my board is strong at the moment. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a Cryo Shadow. I forgot. Oh. So I'm just going to do it. Slap it on your guy. And then just dead cast it. I'm not sure what my thought process was here. I just want to sack itself to get a +1/+1 counter on my Thawbringer too, to go as hard as I can. And I get a Seed Ship at 5. It's pretty lucky. And then I can cast my Thawbringer again if they choose not to. But I am swinging for 14 trample, which does threaten lethal. So I guess that was a pretty okay line for me to take, to be aggressive and force them into some unfavorable blocks, perhaps. I don't think I should sack the lander token here, but maybe I do. Maybe I just do it because I want 10 damage in. 10, or do I do the math and it's lethal, right? 6, 10, and 15. Yeah, it is. For some reason, I look up an emoji. So that gets it to 0. It was a surprise to me too, opponent. I did the math when I attacked, for sure. Yeah, I'm like, why do I have the Mail Strider screen here? What a terrible idea. 40 cards. Match is tied. My opponent will get to be on the play. Got a mole. That's a green land. This is keepable. It's got islands and it's got blue spells. The Navigator hopefully will be able to get me some more selection. They're ramping. I think if I draw a forest here, I would have siege shipped that, but I'm not that lucky. I have been pretty lucky, but not lucky enough. My opponent has 4 mana on the board. Does nothing with it. Interesting. I do get the 4. I don't know about this choice that I'm about to make, but I think I want to keep the impact for the instant speedness of it. I don't know if they maybe just spot remove my guy, but I do like that on top because then I can flash. But the problem is I then would have to discard something. So I don't attack because I want that on top. And I don't want to lose any of the cards in my hand because I love my hand. All right, so what we can do here is, do we figure it out? Okay, so we don't all the way figure out the Fate Maker thing, but now I'm not sure. This attack, this is a questionable attack. I do filter the whale, I guess, and then I tighten. So 6 on the board, pretty good. I keep thinking I have a Sonicist, and I don't. It's a Navigator. My opponent has all the Cryo Shatters still. It's okay. I just go for it. And I say, why not attack with my 2/1 that would make me discard something that I probably want, like the Drix Fate Maker. And now I'm like, crap, that was dumb. It was real dumb. I'm not sure about that one either, but I do get to get another card with the Selfcraft Mechan, so that's cool. Hey, look, another one. So do your math, bud. 1, 2, 3. What do you leave open? Is it green? Is it blue? You choose blue. You chose blue. But we will sacrifice the lander token. Hey. And we're going to put it on the Navigator, because now I can attack with it. We get a land. We just slap it down. Slap that down so hard. And then we attack for 8 and say, I'll just discard something. It'll be fine. We don't need cards. Just discard usable cards. Galeblade. We'll discard that non-land card, because actually lands pretty good for me with the Agrarian. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Could be 9, 10, but just decides to block it. I'm say like, but he gets to make his boy rather large. So this would have been a great time to have Seed Ship impact. However, our guy dies. I'm very sad. Probably should have just sacrificed Lander, but I am saving it for my Mechan to make my Mechans large. They have another Zookeeper. They are down to 1 card, but they're stacking their tokens on this guy, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. But if I draw a land, I can Lander. I can definitely get my Agrarian to 7, so it's not the biggest deal. Heck of a top deck for Chunky Kong. Heck of a top deck. So beep, boop, 6, and then I'm like, I can get it to 7. Definitely can get it to 7. I can also Cryo Shatter your big boy. And just come in with everything. Hooray! attacking for 7, 8, 9, 10, but also 11, which is lethal at the moment with the lander token. Looking pretty good. 13 power on the board. They have 1 blocker, 1 card in hand, about to be 2. After that first game, was not feeling super confident. They do have the Mouth of the Storm, so that is not nothing. I'm thinking about math. So if I lander, right, it becomes a 5/8. And then if I draw a land, it's a 6/9, which kills the Mouth of the Storm. Or it can just attack and do its Agrarian thing. It doesn't really matter, because it grows itself. So don't play your Thawbringer main phase 1. There you go, Chunk. So go in with the guy. He makes a lander. My opponent should have no... Decides to take 6. When I have wideness. Goes to 2. And then I have 4 attackers, all which have more than 2 power. I've got another guy on the top that I like. And I think that they need to get 2 blockers out of 1 card, which doesn't seem likely. And in fact, we get the W. I don't even cast my guy. We just send it. Death to the Titan. Well, I keep the Titan just in case. And that's that. And then I have to take a quick break on this. I forgot what I was doing, but I get on to match 3, which takes a while in the queue because I guess it's pretty late in the set. I keep my Drix Fatemaker set up. I lose the roll a 3rd time. So the last trophy video I had, I won all the rolls. This video we're recording right now, we lose all the rolls. So it's not just roll dependent. I've got 5 lands. I've got 2 creatures, a 2 and a 7. It'll be fine. The Navigator allows us to filter very strongly. And then we also have a whale. Whale. Some nice singing. So we're looking through the Magic the Gathering Arena buttons right now. On this replay, I draw another land. That's okay. Fodder for the Navigator. Or so I think. Very sad. Goodbye, Mr. Navigator. We love you. Take these shattered wings that I have drawn. Surveil 2. Alright, goodbye, 1 land. See, surveilling's not always just, hey, those cards I have are great. Sometimes you actually put stuff in the graveyard. Which is crazy. My opponent has a 4/4 trample to my nothing. I do know I have a Thawbringer coming. I'm pretty sure I knew that. From a surveil? Yeah, I surveilled it. I say, no more lands, please. I count real quick. 4, 5, 6. So that would be number 7, but surely I'll get a land. Especially since I get to surveil with my 3/5 next turn. It does suck. I think I actually count now. So that is land number 7. I think I won it in hand. Yeah, just to be able to for sure cast my Stormbringer, and then I can surveil everything else away. The Shattered Wings is not really doing me much here. And we definitely don't want those forests. Definitely don't want that island. So We're hoping and praying not to get blown out here. Make a dangerous block, but yeah. Trying to stay alive. You get the 5/5 Colossus. Like, man, I really wish this Shattered Wings could do anything against my opponent's creatures. But here we are. Thinking about life. Do I Mechan sack itself and put the +1/+1 counter on the Star Whale to draw another card and have a blocker for the Colossus? Do I do that? I do. And we get a Mechanizo, which is great. So the whale right now can block either of his guys, slowing down the bleeding. If they'd had a combat trick, they probably would have played it, so unless they top deck some removal. So that whale's doing a lot of work. Sea Chip Impact, another thing that I can't use as removal, but I do have 7 lands now. So I think it's time to go for the Storm, he said confidently that is the correct play. I might also go Mechanizoa for 3, leave mana open for Sea Chip Impact in case of shenanigans. 5, 6. No, we're really thinking about this one. I think we go for the attack. Go for the attack. Why not? Yeah. You're on the offensive, bud. You're doing it. You're so strong. So now you have to play the Storm. Yeah. Give me their guys -3, -0. So a 1/4 and a 2/5 are not going to get through my 6/6 with Ward 2. So now I've got 10 in the air, is the math I'm doing. And I can tap one of their guys down with the Mechanizoa. I can do it twice. I get a Thawbringer, which is awesome because it can block everything but the fungal. They still have 4 cards in hand, so 2, 3, Mechanizoa, tap down to Fungal Colossus. Such a great card. And Thawbringer. Got a 4/2, Surveil 1. That can totally block things. Love it. And we've got lethal next turn. They've got 5 cards in hand. What can they be? We don't know. Do we find out? Do we find out? It is a nice forest. I agree. Good job, Chonk, from 2 days ago. That's a pretty little forest. We get the W. Our opponent decides they have no outs. So that was pretty awesome. That is on the draw. I think I start to get excited about the trophy right now. It's like, these Shattered Wings. They don't do anything. So yeah, I definitely drop the Shattered Wings and I bring in a Diplomatic Relation instead because and I believe I regret this at some point. I think there's a time when I draw it and I'm like, man, I wish that was a Shattered Wings. But from what I saw from their deck, the Shattered Wings was not going to do me much. I sadly only have 1 land, so we gotta mull this because everything I have costs so much mana, and it's the wrong color for most of my hand. Probably watching The Sopranos and talking to my wife right now. In the past, timer is definitely ticking. Some good content right there. Mulligan, another 1-lander. So we're mulling to 5 here. Definitely mulling to 5. We take note of that. We want to keep it. All right, we've got all our lands. Yeah, you got to get rid of another one. That's very sad. So we get 2 lands, 3 cards. We say, surely we'll draw another land. Our opponent, lander tokens. opponent thinks about something. I did just think about something. I have used more time. They're ramping up. They're going to rock me. Not a land, I say. Very sad. Heart of the cards. Need that land off the top now. Need it off the top. Gotta find it. Death Touch Scorpion. Not my buddy. Another lander token for my opponent. And a command bridge to tap a lander token. Yep. So they are ramping real hard. I find the land off the top. I'm very lucky. I'm blessed. Hashtag chunk. Not sure what I'm thinking playing this Thawbringer. Except for that I need to surveil. So I need to make the land. That is not a land, I decide. And I don't have any other way to draw, so it would be silly. Yes, it would be silly to keep that on top. So good play. Good play. My opponent slaps down. And number 5? Maybe? I forget. Yeah, 5th land. 3 cards in hand. Blooming Stinger. I would happily trade that with my Thawbringer. Maybe I don't want to anymore because a 4/4 is going to punch me a lot harder than a 2/2 with Death Touch, which maybe I can deal with later. We get the 4th land. We're so lucky. We're the luckiest little chunk in the world. We play our Psionicist. Yes, we do. And we leave open green. Yes, good job. And then we can warp it for 1 and give the Psionicist. Nope. Bad choice, Chunky. Yeah, you big dummy. It's okay, bud. Maybe you'll get there. Maybe you'll win. Do you attack? You want to attack? No, you don't. You're right. You don't want to attack. But these Fate Makers are keeping my trample ability in the game. I'm regretful of my placement of the +1/+1 counter because I think I just really want to take this trade with the Crasher to get my Thawbringer to surveil to make sure I have another land. But it doesn't really matter because my guy is just going to die. Yeah, I go for the graveyard for my other Thawbringer. Although, yeah, there's no way. I could have cast that by... it's going to hurt. 6, 7, 8 damage in my face. Go to 10. They're at 1 land, 1 card in hand. So we could come back. It could happen. We could survive. Give me that land? No. But I can surveil with the whale. Surveil with the whale, Chunky. There you go. You figured it out. Make sure you get more lands. I do want that, I think. Maybe. They don't have anything that I can kill with it. Probably put it in the graveyard. Think about this for a hot sec. Yes, those are not enchantments or artifacts. Then you do want that. And hey, look, you've got the Psionicist, so you can do something. Just drop the Fate Maker. Make a 3/5. To what end? We're not sure. Yeah, there you go. A 4/3. You can block and kill the Crusher. My opponent has 2 cards in hand. Do they get another land? They do. So they're flooding a little bit, getting kind of lucky. But they're playing something huge. I don't think I get through this. There's no way I get through this. No way I get through this. Going to 3. No flying blockers. Yeah, you're boned, but you're done. Are you? Are you done? You're definitely done. You're going to play it out, but how are you getting rid of the 6/6? Drago boy. I tried to download this, but I was told I got free decks, but I didn't see any. Magic Arena, you get free decks, but MTGO, you gotta pay. What's my choice here? I tap down the Mouth of the Storm. I pay the ward cost. Give myself another second. Fighting for my life here. There's no way I get through this game. Opponent plays another land. The door is definitely open for us. It's a 5/4 trample. We got to think about that. We are going to eat 2 damage and go to 1. Then we just need to not die. Just need to not die to the flyer, which best I can do is make a whale to block the flyer. Yes, and really what I wish I had right now was that kill target flyer. That's not going to help you, bud. That is not going to help you. That would be great earlier, but you can't keep that on top of your deck. Just got to give it up. Concede. You see what your next card is, then you can concede. I promise. I promise. You can do it. You can do it. There you go. You're at 1. They've got a flyer. You got a flying blocker. They draw a card. It's probably not a land because they just slap those down. We got to block that. We're still at 1. They don't play another creature. That is a land, and you are hosed, sir. Good game. Delete. So, we say, man, the Shattered Wings. I wish I had that again. For their big flying boy. Probably could get rid of the Siege Ship Impact for diplomatic relations because they've done nothing for you the entire time. But I don't do that. Probably because I was sleepy. We do get to be on the play for the match tied 1-1. Last moment for the trophy. If I had 1 more blue mana, I could turn 3 Cryo Shatter into Gigastorm Titan. Opponent has no turn 1 play. We're saved. We have a Biosynthetic Burst. Nothing on turn 2. Just right into the Thawbringer to ensure land drops and such. They're slow again after just like game 1, which is the one that I won. So things are looking up. We get our Thawbringer to try to make sure that we get a land. Hey, look, it's right there on top. It's how surveilling works. You look at the top card of your deck. It's great. You keep it there, and you draw it next turn. Life's good. Exactly what you need. I think to myself, man, I should just Cryo Shatter into Gigastorm Titan, but they don't even have a card. They don't have a creature. So, guess I'll slap down an Agrarian. That's probably what I do. Hit him for 4. Put a 3/3 that grows into a 4/4 on the board. We've got a Biosynthetic Burst in case things start to go weird. Feeling pretty strong right here. Feeling pretty strong. They make a 4/4 Trampler. Becomes a 5/4 Trampler. We've got all the mana. So we think about this. Here's a 4/4. We can probably just go in. So what we can do is Cryo Shatter into Titan and still have mana up for Biosynthetic Burst. So that is nice. And then I still get a Lander token to make my Selfcraft Mechan a card drawer. So my board is formidable because of all the 4s. Get it? It's formidable? No, okay. 4, 8, 12 damage on the board with 1/1/4 or -1/4 blocker for them that will die the second it gets touched. So I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good from here. But they also have 6 cards in hand and lots of every single color of mana. Did they just casually slap down one after another? No, they found it with the Lander tokens. I'm kidding. They make token copies of that guy? I'm not sure about that, but okay. I think they're just showing me that they have cards. Okay, cool. Maybe they have a diplomatic relations or something. and they need the guy to have power to kill my guy. But at the same time, that only kills one guy. Yeah, that's what it is. It only kills one guy, and I also have a biosynthetic burst, so no matter. And my opponent is friendly and says GG. I say GG back. It's always nice when my opponent's friendly. And they concede. I get the trophy. I get the trophy. Trophy. We